So let's talk about something that most of us do without even thinking about it. Answering a phone call. Pretty simple, right? Well, in a security control room, that one simple act is an incredibly high-stakes procedure. We're going to break down exactly how a critical call is managed, from the very first ring to the final report. Because in this world, it's not just about talking, it's about control, it's about safety, and it's about saving time when every single second counts. I mean, really think about that for a second. In just 1 minute, the entire outcome of an emergency can be set in motion. The tone of your voice, the questions you ask, how fast you react, it all comes down to that first critical moment. So how do the pros manage to turn what could be total chaos into a calm, controlled process? Well, let's take a look at the blueprint. All right, we're going to follow the journey of a call through 5 key stages. We'll start with the first 3 rings, then dive into the art of first contact. From there, we'll navigate what I call the perfect handoff, then see how they create the digital record, and finally, we'll see how all these steps come together and go from just a procedure to a core principle. Okay, our journey begins inside the security control room, the SCR. You got to picture this place as the absolute nerve center of the entire operation. Every single call that comes in is treated with the same level of seriousness because an operator has no idea which call is going to be the call. This is where that professionalism has to meet raw urgency, instantly. The philosophy here is really simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Every single call is treated as an incident until it's proven that it's not. As that first point of contact, the way the operator handles that call creates this massive ripple effect. A delay of just a couple of seconds, that could be the difference in response time and ultimately a difference in someone's safety. It really does set the tone for everything that's about to happen. So the moment that phone gets picked up, an operator's most important tools aren't fancy computers or gadgets. Nope, they're their voice and their procedure. This next phase is all about grabbing immediate control over what might be a totally chaotic situation, using just 2 things: a sense of calm and absolute clarity. It all kicks off with this incredibly simple but completely non-negotiable protocol. Answering within 3 rings, that shows urgency. Using the standard greeting, that establishes professionalism right away. And speaking in a calm, clear voice, that projects authority and control. Look, this isn't just about being polite. It's a psychological tool to actually bring down the level of panic in the person on the other end of the line. This phrase right here, it's not just a friendly hello. It is a carefully engineered script. In just 1 sentence, it tells the caller exactly who they've reached, who they're speaking with, and that help is now officially engaged. It's designed for instant reassurance and to be as efficient as humanly possible. So, with control established, the operator immediately shifts to gathering information. And the framework for this is the classic 5 Ws and 1 H. This is like an unbreakable checklist. It makes sure that no matter how frantic or panicked the caller might be, the operator can systematically pull out every single critical detail the response team is going to need. Now, this is so critical. In an emergency, assumptions are incredibly dangerous. So when an operator repeats back key details, especially the location, they are not wasting time. They are buying accuracy. That one simple act of confirmation can literally be the difference between a team showing up on scene and a team being sent to the completely wrong place. Okay, now we're at what might just be the most critical and, honestly, the most surprisingly high-risk moment of the entire call, the transfer. It sounds so simple, right? But a bad handoff can completely undo all the good work that's been done so far. It wastes precious time and just makes a stressful situation even worse. And this is the golden rule. You never, ever transfer a call blindly. A blind transfer is when you just pass the call along to another department with absolutely no context. Think about it. That forces the caller, who is already distressed, to repeat their entire story all over again. It's inefficient and, frankly, it's just awful for the person on the line. It breaks the chain of control and shatters any trust you've built. Instead, the professional way to do this is what's called a warm handoff. The SCR operator calls the receiving party first before they connect the caller. They give them a quick, clean summary: who's calling, what's happening, where it is, and how urgent it is. This way, the responder is already up to speed the second they take the call. It's a total game changer. And this is pretty much what that professional handoff sounds like in action. This script is the backbone of that warm transfer. It's clear, it's concise, and it guarantees that no critical information gets lost along the way. It's just a seamless relay of information right when the pressure is on.
The immediate crisis might be under control, but the operator's job isn't done yet. The fourth stage is all about creating that permanent digital record in the iTrack system. Now, this isn't just tedious data entry. It's about creating the official source of truth that will be used for analysis, for accountability, and for future training.
And the principles here are simple. Everything, and I mean everything, gets logged. And it gets logged immediately in real time. Using a standard format keeps everything consistent. And of course, the information has to be accurate and right to the point. It's this disciplined approach that turns a series of individual incidents into valuable data that helps improve the entire operation.
Here, let's look at a quick example. A guest in room 1205 feels dizzy. That high-stress event gets distilled down into just 4 clean pieces of data. You have the time, the incident category, the location, and a very brief summary of what action was taken. It's clear, it's actionable, and now it's a permanent record.
Okay, so we've walked through the whole procedure, step by step. Now let's bring it all together. The last part is understanding how these rules stop being just a checklist and actually become a professional's core principles. We're going to contrast some of the most common mistakes with what it really looks like to master this craft. You know, the most common mistakes are pretty much the direct opposite of everything we've just discussed. Gathering incomplete information, transferring a call to the wrong department, waiting to log the incident, or using a panicked tone of voice. Each one of those mistakes is like a broken link in the chain of response. And this comparison right here says it all. The phrase, "wait, I don't know," just projects uncertainty and feeds a caller's panic. But saying, "please hold while I check and assist you," projects confidence and maintains control even when the operator needs a second to figure something out. In this job, language is absolutely everything. So ultimately, mastering this whole process really comes down to 4 pillars. Stay calm so you can control the situation. Listen actively so you get the full picture. Confirm all the details because accuracy is everything. And finally, act quickly and decisively to get help where it needs to go fast. In the end, it really all comes back to this one guiding principle. This is the mantra for any SCR operator. If you treat every single call with the professional weight that it deserves, the right procedure, the right actions, they'll always follow. And that's the whole anatomy of the call. The procedure itself is pretty straightforward, but the real challenge and the true mark of a professional is executing all of this flawlessly when you're under extreme pressure. So it kind of leaves you with one final thought. Knowing all the steps is one thing, but could you really stay this calm when it actually counts?